From deep in the heart of Central Texas, it's the Best of the Outdoors podcast with Dustin, Vaughn, Warncke. Brought to you by Grim Reaper Broadheads. Watch them drop. Gold Tip, the toughest arrow you'll ever shoot. Gilly Monster Outdoors and Vapor Trail Outdoors. World-class hunting and fishing products. Striper Express. With Bill and Chris Carey on Lake Texoma. Vineyard Max Deer Products. And Warncke Enterprises, your full-stack digital and media production marketing agency with a specialty in the outdoors.
Chad, welcome to our show today, and thank you so much for being here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself now that we sit here in front of the Hunt Fish Podcast Summit, and I had the chance to meet you. I've heard so many good things about you.
Sure, it's a pleasure to be here and have the chance. I'll try to give you a short version.
Yeah, kind of your elevator pitch, if you will, about, what you do in the outdoors, and also, kind of for the other show that I do, what you do to inspire others, and like something about your journey and what you've learned from it.
Well, the quick version of just how I got injured diving into a pool in 1986, dove in, hit the bottom, broke my neck. That's the uninteresting version of it.
Still certainly a tragedy, and certainly a traumatic experience for you, I assume, right?
Definitely. Yeah. And I was 17 though, and all I knew, I was a big outdoorsman before him, as much as I could be in my youth. Mm-hmm. So I knew I wasn't going to give that up. Right. Somehow, some way, that was my biggest goal, was to get back outdoors, and we did right away. As soon as I got out of rehab, mm-hmm. I talked my parents into letting me postpone my senior year of mm-hmm. high school, because I got home like on Halloween. So, and my mom was a teacher, so she kind of knew. She was like, yeah, it's no problem. We'll take that off. So we got right back into the outdoors, and we failed so much miserably that first fall, but
mm-hmm. Like how so? I mean, what ways do you think? Because I always say that failure is a event, not a problem. Or not a person, which is a Zig Ziglar quote.
So when you break your neck as a quad, and to this day, I still don't have any grip in my hands. My, I have such limited ability, upper arm. I didn't know how I was going to pull the trigger,
right,
or hold a gun.
So it was like a weak, like your hand just wasn't
right. Could not. So they sent me home with this stupid little device that you were supposed to write with, like a ballpoint pen. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at that. I was like, hey, I think I can pull the trigger with that.
Right.
So, but I
like
could.
Kind of an assist.
I could, yeah. But it wasn't any good, because it was, the metal part was in between my finger and the trigger, and I couldn't feel it. And it was just difficult. I had to hunt out of my dad's truck. Very difficult to shoot out the window with my limited ability. I missed a deer. It was like one of the lowest points of my life. And sure. But it would keep me up at night thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? It opened up so much inspiration for me for learning opportunity. That's how the invention process works. You have to get out and fail. Mm-hmm. And then you figure out how to do it right. And
take Thomas Edison as an example, or any of the other, how many times did you?
It didn't take me that many times, but
that was a lot of times for him, though.
But I figured by the next fall, that summer, I had figured out a trigger puller mm-hmm. and a chest strap to be able to hold a shotgun to be able to shoot. And the next fall is when we shot a deer. My dad made an accessible blind. I killed my first dove, which was a really big thing, because I love wing shooting. Sure. And I didn't want to have to give that up. So I could breathe again. So mm-hmm. that just set me on the path of, okay, we're going to go and
there's possibility here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you have to do is kill that one bird or that one deer, and then you're there.
As a sportsman, you kind of get hooked at that point on something that's, healthy Definitely. And, conservation minded and everything else, that sounds amazing.
The outdoors was still the same. Still the same place. I had changed a little bit, but once I was out there, that's how I learned it's the best therapy in the world.
But like you adapted, you had a reapproach to being in a wheelchair and being in the outdoors.
Definitely.
And you probably looked at it, I assume, a little bit different too, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of how are we going to get to where we need to go.
More problem solving.
I had good friends. I was lucky. I had good friends, good family, and where we needed to go, we figured out how to get there. Good
critical thinking skills at the same time too, to be resourceful, I assume, right?
Yes.
In a situation like that.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
I learned the internet was just a baby, and there was
what year was this roughly? I'm just
1986.
Oh, it's like timelines. Okay, cool. Okay.
So there was no information about adaptive equipment.
Sure, it didn't really exist back then.
So I had to invent it all, and then the internet started coming along, and I found a few other people that were kind of doing it. So I built a site that kind of pooled that information because I wanted to help reach other people and show them too.
I remember those days of the internet too. That was when you go on a forum somewhere like a Sportsman's Forum or whatever, and it said 56K killer. You remember those days? Like all we had was dial up and 56K was the newer thing, and like a lot of us hadn't really adapted to DSL. I just think the technology has come so far. Now we got carbon TV and everything's streaming and
dial up, and I just had to copy HTML code to build my site. I was just copying off other sites and pasting or writing my own. It was a pain in the you-know-what.
Most everybody on this show knows that's how I got started in 1997 was coding my own on GeoCities. I tell that story often. Anyway, go ahead. But yeah, I definitely understand the process because I was building websites back then too, but just it was a different world back then.
So fast forward, that got me into my rehab that I went to. They would call me in because people were getting injured and asking them about outdoor stuff, and I was the only one they knew. So they were like, "Can you come see these people?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come."
So while you're building the website, doing all this stuff, you're going kind of doing a little bit of local outreach there, right?
I would go in all the time. Then I bring all my equipment there and give presentations to the staff and the patients and stuff. And I still do that. I was there a couple weeks ago visiting people. This has been 30 years. And so some of the people I saw, they don't have a place to get out and go try this. So we started our own group hunt where I host people. I bring them in, and every fall we still do it. We still do a disabled group teal hunt in September, and friends of mine, and we do group stuff. And whenever we find people that need the equipment, we'll get it for them. Let them come try it. I give people the tools now. Kick them out of the nest.
Right. Let them go. Let them go figure some things out.
And I've been lucky to go on a lot of hunts around the country, other organizations. So people find me from all over the country now, and they're like, "Okay, I'm newly injured. I want to hunt. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go." So I can tell them, okay, this is what you're going to need. This is who you get in touch with. You go with them, or if you can't come with me, then I'll set you up where you are just to get you going.
So you're almost like a waymaker at that point.
That's right.
Almost like a guide of yourself, or an outfitter of yourself, just kind of helping push things along.
Yeah.
I see that. That's very cool.
I was so lucky to be able to go and do all this. Now I have to give back. I have to, because people helped me survive. And now I'm the guide. I'm the expert in the adaptive equipment, and there's some amazing stuff out there. And
tell me more about that, and tell me more about what exciting you've been working on, what's new with you, and that kind of stuff. Now that you told me a little bit about how all this came about.
The simplest things are something to pull the trigger with, and there's for quads like me, I'm very lucky. I'm C7, which there's 7 vertebrae in your neck, and the 7th one is the lowest. So it means you have more muscle, more triceps, more ability. So the higher up, so you're going to get in that C5, C4 range. That's where it gets, where you need a lot more adaptive equipment. They make a sip and puff trigger.
I've seen those on TV.
Yeah, they make a viewfinder for your scope, and
Because you're more limited the higher it goes up on the sea on the sea vertebrae.
You're more limited, but
cervical vertebrae.
There's gun rigs that you can aim with joystick and push button stuff like that.
So tell me some of the things that you've innovated for people that haven't heard about you, and what are the things that you've done.
We make the trigger pullers, and we make the chest straps for people so you can hold a gun up without falling on your face. Mm-hmm. It helps. It helps
like
to be
stabilize in a way, like stabilize them. Yeah.
Definitely. So and we build some fishing adaptations that go on your wrist and your arm. And for me, I'm lucky. My wrists are strong. I can just. Mm-hmm. I've always just taped the rod to my hand.
Okay.
Super simple. It works for me. It still works for me. That's how I fish. But a buddy of mine and I, there's a device called Receive All. I actually mentored him, and he's in my latest show. You'll see him tonight when we show that.
Oh yeah, cool. At the film festival that we're having.
Film festival.
Great event so far. Yeah, wonderful.
So I mentored him 15 years ago, and I knew right away when I went in his room that first time. I was like, he's got the spirit.
Yeah,
he's gonna be fine. He just doesn't know it yet. You know, he's
kind of apprehensive and nervous about, like, if it would,
Right.
But yeah, I get that. I've been part of a few invention, projects, and I get that. It's just kind of like that unknowing of, is this going to be well received by the people that, actually use it, And I can imagine what that's like in that situation.
He was like me. He just wanted to know that it could be done.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
you will. That. I showed him some of the equipment I use. And I'm like, dude, when you get out of here, he's a welder too. So he knows, all the welders I know that you can make anything to make something work for you.
Right.
So he knew, he just didn't know what it was yet.
And that's fascinating.
He's a tier peer like me. We're really good friends. We invent stuff together. Anytime we meet somebody that needs some equipment, we go evaluate them, or we make something for them. And we're always working stuff like that out. So he just got his picture at tier on the wall, like I have mine.
Nice.
I've got one of the coolest, not the toot my own horn, but I got one of the coolest pictures up there. I'm in the pond, water up to here with a shotgun and my dog.
Oh my gosh.
So when I was newly injured, there was a magazine. It was like PVA, Paralyzed Veterans or something. And this guy was fly fishing, sitting in the stream in his chair with the water. And I was like, I'm going to recreate that picture someday.
And you did it with duck hunting?
And I did it with honey.
That's cool.
And
how exciting. Like, I mean, you had an inspiration.
At the rehab, people that are just getting in there are like, we saw your picture on the wall.
And they were inspired about
they want
possibilities.
They're like, I want to meet this guy and talk to him about outdoor stuff. So that's been there forever.
So how has the outdoors helped you? Like, I guess the best word is cope with the challenges, because I can tell you how it does for me. Our listeners know, how it has for me, but also, like, it's therapeutic and cathartic for me to be out there. Last night throwing a bass rod, in the middle of the night, just being peaceful by myself and that kind of stuff. Like, that has been therapeutic with some of the things that I've been through in the recent, I guess, the last 3 years. And it was just like something, like a peace came over me. I just tell me a little bit about how you feel about that.
Well, for me, it's that one thing. I could give up everything else.
Yeah.
But I needed the outdoors, hunting and fishing. And as long as I could do that, I knew I'd be okay.
Yeah. And really for me, like, it was almost like, I always have the spiritual, part of me that's like the surrender to the divine, but also like the surrender of my problems to, like, the water, almost like I'm kind of just giving my like opening my spirit to, to nature and to, that realize we come from the earth and we go back to the earth. And, and then the kind of philosophical part of I'm letting go here amongst this vast, water, body of water. And, like, for me, that's how it's therapeutic, because it's kind of like a spiritual cleansing almost,
It's nature and God.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I don't understand how you could be connected to nature and not be more connected to God, because
I don't either.
He built that. Nature is a perfect system.
It is.
It seems imperfect because we've muddled it up a lot, but it's still a perfect system.
No, that's great. So tell me in that way how the outdoors has been therapeutic for you and cathartic for you, aside from what you just said. I'm just kind of wanted to dive a little bit deeper into like how it's helped you overcome, and also innovate so you can help others. See, that's the most fascinating thing about what I know about you and your story and the video work and everything, the film work that you've done, is that like you're a waymaker. Like I said earlier, I really feel like you're a waymaker in the way that you find possibilities where other people haven't, and just find possibilities that help and empower other people, if that makes sense.
Well, that's hope. That because when I was injured, you just want hope, and it's a great. I found it out there.
You found it out in the wild.
Yes, just
in nature,
the success out there to be able to. I could be the same person out there as I was before. I mean, it doesn't care that I'm in a chair. Nature doesn't. The game is still the same.
Yeah.
I just play it a little differently, but it's still the exact same. There's very few things you can keep doing the same after injury. That I can keep doing the same way. More challenging, but it's all challenging. Hunting is challenging.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fishing's challenging too, especially when it's slow.
Yeah, when it's slow.
But and a lot of the folks that listen to both of my shows will know that I have in the past, for the past, I guess, 10 or 12 years, volunteered as part of, in the leadership part too, of Crosswater Outfitters, which is a fishing ministry on Fort Hood / Fort Cavasso. I think I mentioned something about this last night at dinner or this morning at breakfast, but basically it is, about helping soldiers exiting the military and what they used to call the Warriors in Transition Brigade, but now they also call the Soldiers Recovery Unit. And so there's not a lot of it's a lot of emotional, like PTSD injuries and that kind of stuff. There are some physical element injuries, and you can take a hardened veteran soldier and put him in the outdoors and put him out on the water on a boat where it's just him. He's isolated from everything else with just his captain, somebody that loves on him. They pray before every boat departs the dock. We pray. And the whole idea being that it's a Christian fishing ministry and a ministry of faith is that we come out of it going, at the end, we feel as volunteers, captains, deckhands, whatever, of that event, that we feel like we were changed and transformed too, because we gave back, but also we learned about how it is to deal with either emotional or physical injuries.
So you're giving them hope too that their life can be what it was before.
Mm-hmm. We call it new normals.
New normals.
And I've given a devotion for years there. I haven't led the last couple of years because of some personal things. But I mean, like I say, that I experienced some new normals that kind of make me even more of a subject matter expert on new normals. But see, you have too, and you had to newly adapt. That you couldn't go back to normal. Like the new normal was within. But look what arose. Look what came out of your new normal. That you used, something that was tragic at the time, and it helps you grow in a new direction, in a new way.
Well, one of the best lines I heard about that was, once you find meaning in what happened to you, it ceases to be a tragedy anymore. Once you find some meaning.
Oh, that's good.
It's true too.
It is so true. The more and that I just never heard anybody say it that way, because you're really, they always, the cliche thing, turning lemons into lemonade and that kind of stuff. But I like it more of the fact that I found hope in the lesson that turned out to be a blessing.
I went through it definitely for this, for sure. I was so set up, just people around me, and
you had a good support system.
That is one of the best things you can have, is a good support system.
Your brothers and sisters.
I still build it today.
Mm-hmm.
You make it bigger and bigger.
Well, you got a new follower here, because I didn't know much about you before I started this. But like I said, when I saw you, I guess it was yesterday. I think I encountered you getting some stuff out of my vehicle. You were there, and you were just like, I'm good, going to, yeah, and just like, and you have this rugged chair here that like has these awesome like giant bike tires on them, and I'm just like, that guy is cool. Like, I wanted to get to know you better because I was like, this, like, I could see it I could see the sparkle in your eye, the ambition, the innovation. Like, that's the kind of stuff I love that just lights my fire in my spirit, is to talk to people like you that have done like.
Well, once you start helping people, I mean, that's one of the reasons you're here, is to help others.
Tell me more about that, and because I want to take that a step further. That statement. Where's the meaning, as far as not just in what happens to you, but in life in general, our physical existence?
I think that fills your soul up.
Giving back.
When I was injured, I tell people, because I missed that years from teenage to 30 or 35 or whatever, when you're supposed to be an independent person in this world, doing whatever you want as an able-bodied person. That's gone. So
you don't consider those as like lost years, or do you consider those as lost years?
For a long time, it was like, there's a hole in my soul that I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
But I fill it up with giving back and helping people. That fills it up. So it was there. And travel too.
Mm-hmm.
will do it. That's how I filled it up too, is being able to go halfway around the world.
Experience life. Yeah. Experience life in your new normal. Yeah. I see.
If you don't have any degrees or any education at all, if you just traveled the world, you would be an educated person. Mm-hmm. and meet people and learn cultures. Mm-hmm. And interact with people.
I don't think enough Americans do that. I think people in other countries, that they have the means to do so, do it. Like, you'll see a lot of people in the UK and that kind of stuff, travel abroad, as they say, and those kind of things. But a lot of like Central Texas born Texas Americans like me, like, I sit there and go, how many people around me have never left this state? My grandmother was born and raised here and lived 90 years, never left.
It's more difficult for people in wheelchairs or just people with disabilities to travel, and a lot of them are scared of doing it, flying especially.
Yeah, especially because of all the security and everything like that. So I understand that.
It's more important. That's another reason more important for us to go do it.
Yeah.
And I actually, we went to Africa hunting, South Africa, before I got the Pathfinder Award and went to Namibia, and never met this guy after I got back. I just wrote about it because this was way before podcasting and YouTube, probably before YouTube existed.
Yep.
So I got an email from this guy. He goes, "You know what? I've been following you, and I would never thought I could go over to Africa. I've always wanted to and go over there and hunt." He said, "Since you did it, I went over there." He went with the same guy as I did over there. He's like, "I went just because you did, and I wanted to tell you thank you for doing that."
You were kind of the catalyst for him making that decision to go on a safari over there.
I never met the guy, and from right then I was like, you know what? You're going to affect people that you never hear from. You're never going to know what kind of ripple effect you have, and you're still going to make ripple. That's why we're doing the show, because we can reach more people. The more people we can reach, you never know who you're going to affect.
Right. So would you agree with me that, at least this is my summation of what we talked about, the meaning in life can be found in being a part, or at least one way can be found in being part of something bigger than yourself?
Definitely.
Do you agree with that?
Especially when that's where you're out there in nature. I mean, you're insignificant, but you're part of it.
So the ego, for me, the human ego, kind of disappears when I'm in nature, and I become part of it, if that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of a deeper spiritual sense of nature for me. I take a little bit more, deeper, being that I'm a deeper thinker, but also deeper empathetically. For me, I kind of lose myself in nature.
It's a blessing to be able to learn how to be still out there. And
it's kind of like it says in the Psalms, be still and know.
bow hunting was a big challenge that we got into, but you really have to learn how to be still.
That's almost an art form
out there, and that is
because if you're exposed in a tree stand or something, in an outdoor situation, whitetail deer. What do they always say? My dad had the thing, if a leaf falls, in the woods, you've got a bear, will smell it. An owl will see it, and what was it? Something will hear it.
The hawk,
yeah.
Will hear it.
And then the deer sees all three. You know what I'm saying? So bow hunting for deer alone is just very challenging in that respect, whether you respect it or not as a gun hunter, bow hunter, or not hunter. But I think it's very, like, for me, it was almost like the next step, and it is for a lot of hunters. And then a lot of hunters will leave bow hunting if they have a shoulder injury or something like that. But see, and then go to single shot or whatever, kind of like the Mr. Whitetail that was over here earlier. He's very much about or like the Jim Shockey. Or no, who was it? It was the Jim Shockey, or was it Jackie Bush? No, it was Jim Shockey. He used to always take one muzzle load in the woods, or one shot on the hunt. And I don't believe he was faking. I don't believe his camera guy had any ammo in the back pocket. Like, I think that he was for real. Like, if this isn't going to happen,
I like him. It's something special. There's so much more happening out there that you miss.
Oh, I know. A lot of people miss that.
You miss if you're not sitting still and just watching. There's so much going on in nature. The actual hunting and shooting part is such a small part of it. It's a fun part.
It is. I mean, yeah, and for those of us that love, that are very conservation minded, that love hunting and fishing for the right reasons, is conserving and making sure we have future, outdoors for everybody. The thing is, it's kind of like, it's a people problem when we have issues with people who form the wrong opinions about hunters and that kind of stuff. And see, somebody like you, I mean, who could make an argument with somebody that comes and makes it easier for people to enjoy recreation, who are what's the word for it now, as far as like being a quad, like, is that you can't say disabled anymore, I don't think.
Right.
Like, what's differently abled? I want to know what the right, like.
I think differently able is stupid. It's like politically correct.
Yeah, it is so politically correct. But
people frown on handicap. And
you can't say that anymore.
And I knew a guy for every year it was a different word. I was like, dude, it doesn't matter
what
word you're using. It's not going to change your lifestyle at all. I mean, I still say disabled sometimes, but able out. I say able hunters now, which is.
I heard you say that earlier, and I wanted to revisit that, but that's.
I say both because So if I'm talking to somebody who's not going to get an able hunter, I'll say I'm taking some disabled hunters out.
Oh, so you use both? Okay, abled and disabled. Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. It's okay.
Okay, that's fine. I just didn't want to offend anybody, but we're worried about that more these days as well. Last, I guess, what else would you like to add? I want you to give us your contact info and everything like that. We got about 10 minutes left, and then I'm going to ask you an ultimate final question on this show.
Everybody can find me on Able Outdoors. We were talking earlier about the more I get into it, the more people come find me, the more I get to take people out. It's getting more exciting for me because that's what I love doing. I love getting out myself and going and doing, like, taking on those big impossible challenges.
Yeah, like we were talking about before we started recording, as far as like the some of the big draw hunts and that kind of stuff. And I mean that's a big deal. But that all being said, I mean you've been an inspiration for so many who have injuries that have led to wheelchairs or other I know that there's things like the track, the little different, like it looks like, it reminds me of like a bulldozer, style, track system and that kind of stuff.
There's some other options too that are a little bit better for that. That's one of the newest innovations out there. There's a chair called the Outrider, and it's kind of a electric 4-wheel drive mountain bike.
Oh wow!
So it'll go.
So it's like a quad. It's like okay.
It's really light. It go like 80 miles on a charge.
Oh my goodness.
And it's whisper quiet.
And what do? You haul the generator along with it to charge the battery?
It's got like a Tesla battery in it or something. I don't know. But
That's amazing.
I've always wanted to do, ever since I got hurt, I've always wanted to do hunt elk with a bow, air quotes, on foot.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is going to allow me to do that someday, because it's quiet enough. And we got close. I had a aluminum rickshaw kind of chair built for me before this came about, so one person could haul me a long way. And we almost had an elk with it and the guy hauled me up we were in the mountains in New Mexico elk hunting, and he got me off the road. We went after these elk that were up in the trees, and we had them all around us, and he called one in. I was sitting there with the safety off ready, I could have gotten him. It was just a smaller bull, but we were like, man, it was so exciting. It was just
the thrill of it. Like that's why we hunt.
It could happen like that with a bow. And he's like, you're right. We could have got him with a bow. So I knew it was possible then, and I know it's gonna happen someday. So
yeah.
But now with this Outrider chair, it just gives me a lot more range to be able to do that.
Right. That's beautiful.
So we got off in the weeds there.
No, it's fine. I want you to talk about what you're working on, what you're excited about. What film are we watching later today that's on Carbon TV right now, or what's coming out? Like what's new for you? Like what's coming?
It's the newest one is it's a cast and blast with a guy named Justin Gordy, a good friend of mine now. I mentored him, and now he kind of following in the same footsteps I did. He's a peer mentor, and he's an inventor, and we help together. We help other people get out. He won a couple of awards, like same as I did. So we went dove hunting, and then we went to the coast fishing, so we could.
So cast and blast, kind of like an outdoors.
Wing shooting as a quad is the most difficult thing to do. So I love it. It was definitely my first love before I got injured, and after. It's so challenging to do. So I tell people all the time, I was like, if you can wing shoot, you can do anything else.
Yeah. That's kind of the litmus test of whether or not you can, that's great.
There's some amazing equipment that we've built and we've come across. One of them's called a zero gravity rig that helps people with way limited ability with their arms to be able to wing shoot. So a lot of exciting stuff that we can get people out with. I love it. I love the invention process. Sometimes it takes a year for someone has to stick it out. You just have to get the ball rolling and get there.
Oh, I love this, man. What a great guest you've been. Thank you. And last question, how can I add value to your life?
Oh, my God. Well, just what we're doing now, you're helping me get the word out. You're probably going to know somebody who's going to be like, I want to do this. I don't know how.
Yeah.
And you're going to get in touch with me and say, okay, what do I need? So, and we'll work together.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're good. This show's going to air on both of my podcasts. And because you have such an inspirational story and, the outdoors element of it made me that's, I think, one reason why Derek, who organized this event, put us together at first, because he said, you're going to love this guy. You're going to love this guy. He's going to be a great guest, because what a story. And I mean, my goodness, you've inspired me and just perked me up even more today. So thank you.
Thank you. Our paths crossing.
I know that's no coincidence.
No coincidence.
Because I like to try to find people that are doing things that are just awesome and interview them, but also help promote them in what I do for volunteer marketing and that kind of stuff, or marketing in the volunteer roles that I do. And so I work with near death NDE radio, and a lot of people that listen to both shows know that. And then I also I told you about the bereavement camp I've worked with in the past, Camp Agape, which is a bereavement camp for kids, outdoor equine therapy, that kind of stuff. And then the soldiers thing I told you about, with Crosswater Outfitters. But and all my listeners that have heard this before know that I'm involved with those. They're on my website, that kind of stuff. But I mean, to meet somebody within the circle of overcoming challenges, but also innovating things to make people be more able in the outdoors, You know, I mean, it's just been a complete, like, I'm glad you were my first guest. Like, this sets the course of the rest of my day of happiness. So I just want you to know that. Tell us how to find you in social or whatever, in case people are listening again, don't read the show notes.
I'm easy to find. We have Able Outdoors. I have a website and a YouTube channel, and now we're on Carbon TV. We just got on Carbon last fall, and it's the next step up for us. Super exciting.
It's been an inspiration. Thank you so much for being part of our show.
My pleasure.
You've got your social handles. Any other way do you have besides the Carbon? Tell me about where the channel. Like, is it a film? Is it in the film section or the TV show section?
It's in the. I think it's TV show.
Okay, what the TV show's called?
Able Outdoors.
Able Outdoors. That's what I thought.
Search Able Outdoors, you'll find it.
Okay. Now, I've seen you on there before. I just wanted to make sure I had the thing right.
We just came out with season 2. That's the one I was talking about. So, we have turkey hunt in the pan that we're gonna produce next, and also I did a South Texas deer hunt, and we get to tell other people's stories, which I love.
Yeah.
Just now, it's the 7th, 8th episode, and I'm going to actually get to star in my own show.
Be in front of the camera.
That's right. Well, I'm there. I'm just.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in the background.
Exactly.
I'm just voiceover.
Yeah, you're the mic guy. Yeah, I'm with you. And what a beautiful scenery to do this out here. We've got the lake and we got fishing, and my heart was gonna throb last night if I, cast in the middle of the night and like hooked into like a 5-pound bucket mouth, a big old largemouth bass. And just to get that hook again in me, as a fisherman.
There might be some in the big lake over there.
I know. Well, that's a good point.
It's got to warm up a little bit.
It is. I just love it out here. I was gonna text my dad. I said it's not a pond. It's like a private lake. Like, I mean, this isn't just like a stock tank. There's no cows. It's a beautiful lodge we're at. So, anyway, thank you again.
Anytime.
Just want everybody to check you out, and I just really appreciate you you being on the show, and you've been a great interview. So I hope I was a good interviewer.
You were.
Okay, all right.
You got to keep going, or you won't keep going.
That's right. You got to keep going. So I appreciate all the experience that you shared with us. So both about the outdoors and your journey through life. So thanks again.
Thank you.